Epstein, Deutsche Bank to pay $75 million over sex trafficking lawsuit. Man, but Deutsche Bank was directly involved in sex trafficking. Good God, I can't wait to read about all of the arrests that must have happened in this article. Don't worry, I'm sure there's some in here. Deutsche Bank has agreed to pay $75 million to settle a lawsuit that claimed the lender had enabled Jeffrey Epstein's alleged sex trafficking ring. The case was filed by an unnamed woman who alleged that the banking giant continued to do business with Epstein, despite knowing that his accounts were used to facilitate the abuses. So they should have obviously pulled that out straight away. The bank kicked out Kanye faster. Like, do you know what I mean? I wonder why that was. But yeah, as soon as they figured that stuff out, is this getting used for that? One of the most atrocious crimes that we have laws for, then, we are yeeting his accounts right away, but they didn't. They kept them. They done that. So obviously that came down to a decision. So the people who made that decision, I'm looking forward to reading about their arrests. I'm looking forward to, because I mean they allowed the means by which this was happening. They allowed it to continue. That makes them, in my eyes, directly complicit. Makes them directly complicit in this. So I'm so excited to read about the arrests. She also claimed that she was abused by Epstein and trafficked to his friends. Deutsche Bank declined to comment on the case when approached by the BBC. The woman, who listed anonymously as Jane Doe in court papers, filed the class action lawsuit in New York last November on behalf of herself and other women who had allegedly been abused by the late American financier. What a title. The late American financier. I bet just call him like part of the pedo elite, right? Let's just, you know... Let's just, let's call a spade a spade. She said Deutsche Bank chose profit over following the law. Very serious offence. And I'm looking forward to the people responsible being arrested. Yeah, I'm dead excited. As it knew, it would earn millions of dollars from facilitating Epstein's sex trafficking. The woman also alleged that she was sexually abused by Epstein and trafficked to his friends for around 15 years, while receiving cash payments for her sexual acts. The settlement is expected to be used to pay compensation to dozens of women. Finally, the women, I was about to say justice there. They're not getting justice, though. They're not getting justice at all, but I mean, but it's something. It's something at least, No one in that black book's going to get fucking arrested, right? Let's just face that part. So at least it's something that they're getting. Edward Pottinger, one of the law firms representing the unnamed women, told BBC that the outcome was likely the largest sex trafficking settlement involving a banking institution in US history. So here's the funny thing is he's saying it's the largest one in history, which makes you think that there's more than one. This has happened more. Because there's others to compare its size to. That's fascinating, that, isn't it? That there's been multiple instances of this. The settlement will allow dozens of survivors of Jeffrey Epstein to finally attempt to restore their faith in our system. Arrest everyone in the black book. There you go. That'll restore my faith. Knowing that all individuals and entities who facilitated Epstein's sex trafficking operation will finally be held accountable, the firm added. Deutsche Bank previously sought to have the lawsuit dismissed. I bet they did. Dylan Riddle, a spokesman for the bank, declined to comment on the settlement on Thursday, but said it had made considerable progress in remedying a number of past issues. That's fine. And then you clapped him in cuffs. That's what you done, isn't it? You dragged him away immediately and put him in the back of the van. Yeah? Yeah, I'm sure it's in this article. Mr. Riddle added that the bank had invested more than $4 billion to improve its controls, training and operational processes and grown its team dedicated to fighting financial crime. Now, this was the problem. See if it was a little someone that nobody had fucking heard of, I wouldn't blame you for going, wait, does that guy bank with us? Or not knowing, right? If it was just some little random guy that nobody knew, right? However, Jeffrey Epstein was in the public eye, right? Now, one thing that a lot of people know about, I worked for HSBC for a little while. It was terrible. But basically, special celebrity customers, they usually get, especially people with the fucking capital that Epstein had, they get their own advisor. You get your own person to talk to. See how celebrities, and there was a friend of mine worked in that department, and there was certain celebrities, I'm not going to say names or anything like that, but fucking big people that he spoke to. Basically, you get your own special little department, right, whenever you contact the bank for absolutely anything. No hold times, none of that stuff. Boom, straight through. You basically get your own handler. Now, Jeffrey Epstein was everywhere. He was brushing shoulders with all these celebrities. It came out years ago. It was all over the papers that he got caught doing this exact same shit. And then Bill Gates and fucking Andrew, fucking His Royal Highness the pedo, was fucking hanging about with him and all that stuff as well. So it was known. You knew. Right, the problem is you knew he would, especially with someone with that kind of capital, he would have been on their little special fucking team. He would have had his own member of staff he could have contacted whenever he wanted. So you knew. You knew he was there, and even after all of that fucking stuff, you continued leaving his accounts open. That was a conscious decision. It's not a case of, oh, we didn't know he banked with us, but as soon as we found out, we shut it down. No, you knew. And you didn't shut his accounts down. And then the trafficking just kept going because you kept his accounts open. How nice of you. Epstein died in a New York prison cell on 10th of August 2019 as he awaited, without the chance of bail, his trial on sex trafficking charges because he was murdered by the CIA. I'm not going to say that Epstein, he absolutely, he was killed by the CIA. He was killed by the CIA. It came more than a decade after his conviction for soliciting prostitution from a minor, for which he was registered as a sex offender, which I know a decade ago the bank knew, Bill Gates knew, everybody fucking knew about it, and everyone was still hanging about with the bastard. Yeah, so essentially, I can't help but notice I've came to the end of this article and not a single person from Deutsche has been arrested. But they committed a crime. They willfully allowed child sex trafficking to continue. So why are there no arrests? That wasn't like... A company isn't just some sort of anomalous entity. It's made up of people. The direction the company goes in is based on the decisions made by the people within that company. You can't just turn around and make a decision within the company and then go, oh, it's the company. What are you going to do? Put handcuffs on the company? No, it was you. That was you, prick. You made that decision. You consciously, people working there, physical people with names, social security numbers, addresses, and probably dodgy hard drives, made that decision to allow this man to continue running his accounts, despite what they knew, right? And they knew he banked there. Someone with that kind of capital has their own little special person at the bank, right? I know this because I used to work in a bank, and that's how they fucking operate, right? Celebrities and famous people are just like rich motherfuckers. I'm talking like 9-figure fucking bank accounts and shit like that. They have someone at the bank they can call immediately, and the bank is very, very aware of the clientele they have in that bracket. They know every single one of them by name, right? They know all of them, so they fucking knew. They knew, oh, that guy that was sex trafficking, he still banks with us, but I mean, there's a lot of leverage that we could get boys though on that account, man. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, Jesus, fuck. I mean, that's like, it's like 100,000 mortgages in there, boys, that we can use as leverage. Like, I know the poor kids and all, but I'm just saying, money, like, fuck it, right, fuck off. And they got away with it. They just, oh yeah, we'll pay a fine. They don't pay the fine. The bank pays the fucking fine. And there's no arrest, there's no fuck all. So essentially, they got away with it completely. I mean, it's weird, you know, when it comes to child sex stuff, that's happening a lot recently. I don't know what's going on. It's fucking weird, isn't it?